how will the set serve the story as it shifts between an aristocratic wedding and the more darker fantasy of the forest or the woods?
So we begin the play at Theseus and Hippolyta's wedding, and it's this very opulent kind of 4-day extravaganza of feasting and celebrating, and it's in the in their palace in Athens. And we're leaning into the architectural style of the Sam Wanamaker Playhouse, with all of its kind of rich detail and embellishment and sort of sense of history and authority that the space has. But it's been turned on its head. We've made the entire space white. So it's kind of using the architectural detail, but through a different lens of a different color and different material to what we're used to seeing. And so it will feel almost like a kind of dream nightmare version of what that space might usually be. And then when we go into the forest, some of that architectural detail starts to give way to a kind of softness, and we have curtains that billow in through the open doors, like kind of snowdrifts finding their way from the kind of cold outside world into the interior. I think there's often a kind of interesting dynamic at play in Shakespeare plays between forest worlds and kind of urban environments. And there's usually a different set of rules at play in both. And we see people going into the forest to seek a kind of chaos or capriciousness or an escape. The characters are freeing themselves from the constraints of the society they're in. And I think in this version of A Midsummer Night's Dream, we're really interested in how we set up this quite tyrannical world of rigid power structures at the start, which then becomes a kind of motivating factor, a place from which the lovers are fleeing and seeking a kind of exile in the forest. It kind of ups the stakes of the whole thing and offers quite a lot of potential for transformation, because we return to that palace world at the end and no one's quite the same as they were.